Welcome to the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy, where you will learn the tips, tricks, and strategies he teaches his world-class clients to give you the skills to dominate any business.
What's going on, Mindset by Design crew, and welcome to episode 221. Hope you're amazing as always. I don't know whether you can hear a epic music in the background. Well, you know what? I've been a little sick this week, and I wanted to make sure that I put an episode out for you. So right now, I'm sitting in this cool place in Tampa in Florida. It's called Arbiter Works. It's like a huge, I don't know, it's like a warehouse. And people work from here. It's like got loads of food, cool coffees. It's like really industrial and it's cool. So I thought I'd come and work from here and I'd record this cool intro for you. Because today, well, it's a little bit different. Hopefully, first of all, you loved the previous episode, 220. I've had some amazing feedback, and yeah, people loved it, 4 hacks to blast your productivity in 2019. And I wanted to flow on from that because something I started doing inside the incubator group on Facebook is, well, Q&As, right? Q&As. So I jump on, got loads of cool questions, and whether you're live or not with me, doesn't matter because I get the questions answered for you. So it was about 30 minutes long, the last one I did, and I want to share it with you. There's some cool bits. I'll get into that in a moment. But so today, it's a little bit of a different podcast. If you want a full, cool, in-depth episode, then make sure that you're going to check the previous episode out. This one, well, guess what? The intro's short. I'm going to jump into it in a minute. And the truth, well, we get to some key elements inside the podcast, right? So, shouts out to Tom Kurch because he asked a really cool question. It's, if you could go back in time, Andy, and you got the right mentors, what do you think the benefit would be? What do you think the difference would be? What do you think you'd do different with those mentors? And I really love that question, so I went into it and give some, it's a game changer. Mentorship and coaching, honestly, are the biggest things that have accelerated my life, my career, something I call folding time. Because the truth, I just don't want people to go through the pain that I've been through because you don't have to. And that's what mentorship and coaching is all about. It's about giving you the fast track, And that is so important because we've only got so much time in this world, right? And if we want to kick ass and get our product services out to the world, if you just want to help people, then this is how we hack it, right? This is how we hack it. So I love this question by Tom. Next question, shouts out to Tyler Boyd. You've been bouncing around a lot in the group, the incubator group, and I appreciate that, Tyler, I do. And you asked some wicked questions. There was actually 3 questions. You're only supposed to get 1, mate, but hey, I'll give you 3. Real cool. Strategies around just performance, strategies around negative self-talk, and how in the deep depth of the pain or the moment that you're going through in life and business, well, guess what? How to keep that positive mindset. So I jump into the science, jump into real in-depth tactics of how you can, maintain that world-classness. And we also had I've known the next lady for a couple of years now. She's been on some other coaching programs with me, and she's awesome. Shouts out to you, Amy Joy. And you've got to love that last name, right? Gotta love it. She's a cool coach herself, and she's been putting together a podcast and just came to me for a bit of advice about that. Because guess what? I've done a couple of episodes. We're up to 221 here. So she was asking about hosting, how to even build a following in general to get her products and services out there when you have 0 followers. So I cover that too. Cool question, right? And the other question was from a buddy of mine, a client of mine, and also I presented at his event in St. Croix for Adventurepreneur Escapes, which was pretty epic. And Anthony, shout out to you, brother. It's all about influence. Influence in body language, influence in general. Because this is the cool thing about NLP. And again, it's just my base, but I've really taken it to a whole new level and developed my own systems around this. But one of the key elements is what I loved and how I got into neurolinguistics was, like 16 years ago? 16 years ago in sales in Sydney in Australia. And I got taught by some of the best in the world, and I got very good very quick. But one of the key components of NLP is called neuro-linguistic programming. Language, man. Language creates our reality, it creates the emotions, it creates the chemical addiction and chemical response in our brain, all from language. And so when we can understand how to use language correctly, when we can understand how to just create the right images in someone else's brain to help them, but also in our own. And when we can do that, it's beautiful. That's called influence. Now, you might be a psycho, I was going to say. Oh, let's use that word, right? If you were going to be a psycho or a sociopath, you can use this stuff for harming people, right? Of course, but if you're listening to this, damn, you're not going to be one of those people. You're here to help people. And that's what influence is really about. And I go through some key strategies, or what we call hypnotic language patterns or language patterns. And these are influence language patterns. So I go through 3 real cool ones that you can apply right now in your business, daily life, that you can kick ass with. Sound good? Awesome. Awesome. And that's what the show's about. So as I say, today isn't a normal episode. You can bounce back to the previous episode and get the full hit. I know you're going to love it. You can also go back through, 219 other episodes and discover why I tell people to use these podcasts a little bit differently from the others. I want you to use it like a library. I really do. Because the content in here is so in-depth in a lot of the episodes. And obviously we've got shorter ones like this. But it means that you can scroll back, check a title out, and use it like a little mini coaching session. And because you can use it like a mini coaching session, what's happened with so many people in the past is they've built their own coaching program using multiple episodes. So I want you to be able to do the same thing. If you scroll it right back down, even to the first 100 episodes, you have just got guest after guest after guest after guest. Every single one of them, truly world class, and I learned so much from them, and I want you to do the same thing. So you can apply these knowledge techniques straight away in your own business, and that's the awesome point, okay? What else we got? Oh yeah, we've got, by the way, I've just booked maybe 10 guests to come on the podcast. They're all booked in. I recorded the first one the other day with Rudy Ma, who's one of the top Facebook marketers in the world. So I recorded with him the other day. It's pretty epic. And he's from the UK, and he's a buddy, so we got into some good stuff. So this is just one of the episodes that we're bringing out. I'm pumped to bring a lot of guests on these days. Well, for this year, for 2019. What else before we jump into this episode? And you might be going, do you know what, Andy? I kind of like these intros, these short intros. You probably want to do them more often. And if that's how you feel, then hey, let me know. I want some feedback. Come and hang out in the incubator group, or give me a comment, or whatever it is. And I'd love to know. What else to help you? Make sure that you are jumping into the show notes. Make sure you're clicking in there for the simple fact it's about helping you. And I've got different levels of programs and different levels of things to help yourself. The first one, I'm sure you Mindset by Design listeners, especially the regulars, are going to be used to this. But look, we've got the first one. Every single one of you should be doing this. And if you haven't right now, then you're missing out. You need to go and find out exactly where your unconscious mind or your brain is set to. The thing is, I've taught this for years now, over a decade. Your mind is your business is your mindset. Fact. It just is. Whatever level your brain is set to, your beliefs, your focus, your expectation, then that's giving you the results that you're getting in your life right now. And it's definitely with money in the level of your business. So, go there, it's free. It's the world's first business brain assessment, and guess what? You can go there because you're part of the Mindset by Design crew. So hit the show notes up for that. The other thing we got going right now, and I don't even think I've got a place left, but I could stretch it to 1, maybe 2 more, max. This is my personal mentor team. I'm taking people through a 6-week, just game-changing, absolutely game-changing, and yeah, there's 15 spots maximum. I went for 10, I got like 11 or so in. That's all I want, right? But if this seems right for you, and you want to come on a journey over 6 weeks and set your year up like no one else is going to show you in the world. They're just not. I'm going to show you cutting edge systems that I've developed over 16 years, man, of working with the top in the world, getting rid of all the BS, the fluff, the cheese, man, out of the personal development industry, and instead giving you the science, techniques, tools, and systems that I teach to the highest performers in the world. And guess what? It's available for you. So 6 weeks, we're going on a mission together, and I've made it as affordable as humanly possible that I could for this private mentor group. So guess what? Yeah, if it sounds like you might be in time. Just go and hit the show notes up. I've got a whole showcase video in there for you to watch. It'll tell you all about it, tell you everything you need to know about me and all the rest. And you can either message me to find out more info, or yeah, just join right there. Nice and simple. What else? And then I will shut up. One more thing. I am bringing on, for the next few months anyway, 1 private client a month. That's it, right? That's it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep doing the private clients, but I kind of missed you. And I'm bringing out so many different things right now. We're in the works of the 8-figure Think. You've obviously got the Nitro. I'm working with different people to bring out different products, and yeah, it's cool. It's cool, right? So if that sounds like you, and you're either kicking ass right now and want to make sure that you're keeping that consistency, or taking that consistency and that level of performance right through the rest of the year, or to discover how to truly just get control of your mind, your emotions, and make sure that you're kicking ass at world-class performance every day, then guess what? You need to chat with me. There's an application form in there. Go and fill it in, and hey, and guess what? We'll probably get to connect. Or the opposite, right? You've dipped in performance. Your business isn't, it feels like, I don't know, maybe it feels like there's a block. Maybe it feels like there's 2 parts of you. Maybe you're getting overwhelmed. Maybe you're getting the constant anxiety. But you know that you're there for a reason, and that business has to get out to the world. And if that's you and you just need some tweaking, then guess what? We need to chat and connect, 100%. So head over to the show notes. All of that's in there for you, and some other cool links. And yeah, guess what? You're going to absolutely love it. Time to take your 2019 to a level that you didn't even know was possible. Find out what level you're stepping up to, and beautiful. Beautiful. I'm excited to connect really, really soon. So, there we go. So, should we jump into the episode? I thought you might say that. So, I will see you at the end of the show, and enjoy. What's going on, everybody? One day I'll get the lighting right in here. Hope you're good. Hope you are really good. I'm just going to wait a minute for everyone to come on. Q&A, we're going to keep these going. I think it's going to be really fun. I think we're going to be able to bring people on, make them interactive. I think it's going to be really cool. So what I'm just going to do is move. There we go. Is that a little bit better? I don't know. So we got some cool questions today to get answered. So I'm going to jump into it in a minute. Real cool. We've got Tyler, Tom, we've got Anthony, and we've got Amy questions. And I've got about 25 minutes here. So we're going to jump in, but there's some really, really cool stuff. So the names aren't popping up. There you go, Tom. There you go. So if you're on, write me a little message so I can see who's popping up. Tyler, yo, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, Tom. Looking good. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. So I'm going to start with you two, right? Because you're here. That makes sense. So first one on my list, let's jump into Tom's. Tom's is probably easier to solve, and if you've got any other questions, you can throw them up in the chat. But let's look at this. Tom's question was really nice. So thank you for that, buddy. I appreciate it. If you could, got my notes here. See, look at this. See? If you were to go back in time and could work with a mentor, what would have accelerated your success? Interesting. And let's just talk about, hey, Sam, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Awesome. So Tom, Sam, by the way, get to know each other. You're in my Nitro group. So awesome. So let's answer that question. It's interesting because if we go back in time, what type of mentor would I wanted? Well, if we were to look at after New Zealand, when I started to get into performance coaching, not just sales coaching, what I would have loved is somebody who is an actual true businessman or businesswoman or business mentor. Because the thing was, I was taught by salespeople, right? And salespeople, as you'll probably work out from internet marketers, they're not the best at business, right? They've got no, they've not trained in business. They've trained in how to create influence. They've trained in how to create sales, right? And hey, I'm going to press the wave to Tyler. There you go. Hey, waved at you, Tyler. So what I would have loved back in the day, and this is advice for anybody, if you're just following pure internet marketing and you're looking at this, what's blowing up is just funnels. All of those things are great. But the truth is, what you need is a solid understanding of marketing. And the next understanding of that is I would have loved somebody called Perry Marshall. Perry Marshall was one of the original old school copywriters. Yeah, he was an original copywriter. And he wrote all these amazing letters that people still use today. The number one skill that I've been told on the internet, bar none, is copywriting. It's learning how to influence through language. But not just verbal language, written language, right? Because that then can translate into if you're speaking or whatever. So that's the second mentor that I would have loved in business. The third one is when back in the day, like 10 years ago, I started a YouTube channel. Yeah, maybe not 10, maybe 8 years ago, right? Was internet YouTube booming then? No. But I started a YouTube channel. I traveled around the world, did videos, all of this. But guess what? I wasn't a marketer or an internet marketer. So I didn't know how to capitalize on that. So I just stopped the channel. And now I'm re-engaging the channel. But I know people that have done it who've got millions of followers that time ago. So those are the three mentors. YouTube mentor, which I still think YouTube is the way to go. Perry Marshall getting wicked at copywriting. And a true business mentor, not just a salesperson. Is that good, Tom? Does that help? So for you, what you need to be around is, those three types of people. Good. Let's jump on to Tyler. Tyler, now we're going into mindset stuff, okay? You've asked some interesting questions, my friend. Interesting questions. And Tom, we're going to get into it in the Nitro group together, my man. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped about this year for you, mate, because obviously we've worked together before and you've been in different programs. It's on, buddy. It's on this year, man. So, Tyler, love this. And I love, buddy, that you're up at 2 a.m., man. You've worked your full day, and that's what's going to make massive success, brother. I promise you, right? So, let's look at this. Strategy. This is Tyler's first question. Strategy. I'd love to have a YouTube channel. Yeah, well, I'm just recording videos right now for my new one. So yeah, follow that. But again, there's so many tactics out there for YouTube, and if you don't really get them right, including copyright and titles and stuff, the videos really don't get seen, because there's so many people doing this now. So okay, focus. Tyler said strategy for negative self-talk. Let's talk about that, right? Some stats, right? And they all change the stats. So it depends who you talk to, but let's look at some rough stats. We say about 55,000 words to ourselves a day, right? Well, we have that many thoughts, and each thought that we have is connected to what? It's connected to words, right? It's connected to a movie on our head. It's connected to certain scenes, pictures, colors. It's connected to certain emotions. It's also connected to certain words. So understand, first of all, every time we repeat a word, that word, guess what? Triggers an emotion, and it triggers a memory. So think about that, right? So, and then the next thing you need to know, guess what? That's automatic, because it's in your unconscious mind, which is also what? Your nervous system, right? It's in your unconscious mind. It's in your automatic system. So when you get out of bed, for example, right? There's certain thoughts, feelings, and actions that are automatically playing, right? So the words that we start to say to ourselves, even in the morning, start to activate certain feelings, which then link to the way we see the rest of the day, because it's affecting the way we feel. Does that make sense, first of all? So what I want you to understand is words, or prefrontal cortex, right? Meaning the words that we say to ourselves, are so powerful because it enables us to flip from this feeling to this feeling, okay? When we change feelings, this is what I call in the 8-figure thinker, and I'll teach it in the Nitro, is what I call my driver, okay? It's how we change states or versions of us. The version of us that is getting out of bed and happy is not the version of us that is getting out of bed and sad, okay? The version of you that goes and closes a deal isn't the version who's trying to relax. They're each bubbles of neural nets with each different movies, beliefs, attitudes, and things that are playing in your head. So, what we want to pay attention to is these two different versions. The words that we say over here are different to the words that we say over here, okay? The words that we say over here also have a certain tonality, okay? A certain pitch of their voice, a certain tone. Understand that. I want you to start paying attention to this, okay? Because you could say the same words with this negative tonality over here, and you'd probably still get a very similar response. You still get a negative feeling. So it's the tonality that creates the shift, okay? So if I can't be bothered doing this, right? Or you go, I can't be bothered doing this. Do you see the difference, right? Can't be bothered doing this. I can't be bothered doing this. Right. What happens over here, the tonality is so different. What emotion's connected over here? You can answer, but what emotion's connected over here when I say it like this? Right. Happiness, fun. You're not even taking the statement seriously. Over here, what you're doing is repeating, oh, I can't be bothered doing this. What feeling? That's a heavy feeling, right? So I want you to start to pay attention, Tyler, on the words that you're saying when you're stressed out and how you're saying them. And I want you to pay attention to the words that you're saying when you're on fire, right? And you're kicking ass. Two totally different words, two totally different tonalities. We learn to shift the tonality. We learn to shift the feeling, okay? So And we've also got to be careful. Here's another little tidbit. We've got to be careful on how we structure the sentences. Meaning, I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be stuck here anymore. I don't want to be stressed. Understand? So what you're doing is you have a filter in your brain, and that filter in your brain deletes, distorts, and generalizes all the information that it's taking in. Okay? So it just focuses on the dominant thought. What's the dominant thought? Well, guess what? I don't want to be does not get heard, man. It doesn't get heard. All that gets heard is stressed, fear, stuck here. That's the dominant thought. And if we're repeating those words to ourselves, what pattern's playing, what gets integrated, what gets automated, you got it, right? So we need to really start to pay attention and all day. This is what I call a pattern interrupt, but I'll teach you more about that another time, man. So does that make sense, first of all, right? Happy with that? I love your next question, which is strategies to keep a positive mindset. You need to move this back a bit, right? There we go. Strategies to keep a positive mindset. I love it, right? Well, I just told you one, okay? But the other ones is when we're in the depth of, I don't know, sadness or depression or overwhelm or getting lost or whatever it is, right? What I want you to understand is that is just a version of you that's playing, right? Automated. And when people are in fear, guess what? That's a fear state or a fear version of them. They're thinking, feeling, and acting, guess what? Around fear. Their focus is on fear. The movies in their head are the things that can go wrong, okay? So I want you to understand that first of all. So when we start to learn and shift who we are through language and all these different ways, then guess what? That keeps our mind or this new muscle pumping. We want this new muscle to be pumping so it becomes the dominant muscle, or you become used to being that version of you, man, right? Because the other side of it is we get used to being this version, but this version sucks. So we got to get used to being this version. So when you're in the middle and you'll get going here, then going here, then going here, then going here. Simple little tricks. First of all, what I want to do is when I'm like that, I always come back and start looking around at everything. It sounds a bit cheesy, this, but everything I'm crazy grateful for. Just everything that I'm grateful for. Got a house. Can I pay the bills? Yeah. Can I eat? Yeah. Because guess what? Those have been in my life that I haven't been able to do those things. Guess what else? It's a case of being gratitude that my arms, my legs, I can breathe. I'm alive. Right? All the people around me that I love. So understand, when we come back to this feeling, what we're doing is, it's science for another time, but we're actually activating something called the heart brain. Okay? That heart brain, you're still there, Tom, I can see you, message popped up. Okay, well, keep recording anyway, and then we'll put it up, because I don't know what's going on with Facebook. But what I want you to understand is that gratitude connects us to heart brain, okay? So when we're connected to heart brain, we're not inside of all of our thinking. So that means, I'm sure whatever Andy is saying is right now is gold. So it is, but I'm not sure why you're not seeing me, because I can see you. Messages are all coming up. So what I want you to do is we need to become present. Presence? Yes, well, present, okay? So when we do breath work, which is what I'm doing in the 8-Figure Thinker group, if you're in that, it's a case of every Monday now, I'm doing a meditation Monday, right? So we'll start you off with breath work, okay? But what I want you to do is we go to gratitude, we go to presence. Presence meaning just let go. Just let go, right? That's it. That's all you need to do is just let go. And you let go of, it's like tension, right? Just breathe. And when we breathe, we activate a different part of our nervous system, which is what we're meant to do. And then from this place, we start thinking about the future a different way. And if you're like, Andy, I can't stop thinking about the future a different way, it's freaking me out. Okay. Well, that's because you've got one neural net or one path playing. Well, what we need to do is your unconscious mind will follow that. But if we create another path and we give it another option, the unconscious mind will do what? Well, yeah, it will follow that one, or it will have a choice of which one it wants to follow. So the first thing to do is positive mindset is what? Gratitude, right? All the things in our life connects us to heart brain. Second, what do? Presence. Breath work, right? Activate that different part of our nervous system. 3, guess what? Then we create alternatives to the future. Those alternatives, the right one we will choose. Like that, Tyler? I don't know if you can hear me on this, but it's going to be recorded and posted, okay? So the other question was changing core beliefs. Well, changing core beliefs is really important because it's all unconscious. It's all automatic. That's the problem, right? It's all automatic. So if you want to change your conscious, I'm back. Part 2. Why? Because the internet or Facebook messed up, right? But I'm back again. So finishing off Tyler's, I've saved it and I'll post it part 1, okay? I'll post part 1. So part 2 is that just finishing off Tyler's question, Tyler's question was changing core beliefs, okay? Changing core beliefs is something that we have to do together, mate. It's plain and simple. It's pure unconscious work. It's really getting into the neurology and the memories and being able to fine tune them. And that's what we do. There's 64 components of a memory, okay? So think about that. There's 64 components of a memory that are connected to your beliefs. Tyler, we've got to go deep into your unconscious mind to change those core beliefs. But you'll see on part 1 that I covered the strategies to keep a positive mindset in bad times. So hopefully it recorded. I'll be posting it. It's actually uploading now, right? So fingers crossed. So that leads us to, let's cover Amy's, and then what I'm going to do is, Amy's is quick, and then what I'm going to do is jump to Anthony's question, which is going to take a little bit more time. That's about influence. Brilliant topic, right? But we're going to get to that. So let me jump over to Amy's questions. And this is for anyone who's doing a podcast and launching a product, okay? So where did you start building followers from close to zero? It's a good question, right? And we've all been there. Maybe you're there right now. This is my advice, right? Every single marketer on the internet has got their own system. Plain and simple. Everyone's telling you to go to Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Snapchat, LinkedIn. Everyone's telling you, right, to build them all. You've got to build them all. You've got to have a Russell Brunson. You've got to have a million funnels, right? But the truth, just pick 1 or 2 that you love, that you enjoy, that you use yourself and you want to get more interaction on. If you're a writer, then go and write. LinkedIn's great for writing. Sites like Medium are great for writing. But if you suck at writing, then you can hire a copywriter for sure, or an editor. But really what you can do is just, if you're good at speaking, then speak, right? That's what YouTube's about. That's what these videos are about. Make sense? So Amy, just choose 1. Just choose 1 or 2 and master them, and keep building to master them, okay? And the only way you're going to master them is practice. The only way you're going to master it is doing it. The only way you're going to master is getting feedback from your audience as it grows. But if people don't know you, then guess what? People don't know you. So you've got to get that content out there, okay? But it has to be a little bit strategic. And her second question is pre-launching. What do you think about pre-launching a course? I think it's awesome. I think that's what you should do. Definitely, right? So put the content out there, contact people, and as you're contacting people, what I want you to do is just build rapport with them, and as you're building rapport with them, just gently offer them something. That's it. If it's for them, it's for them. If it's not, it's not, right? The more they see you, the more they'll connect with you. The more they connect with you, the more they're going to, what? Yeah, like you and trust you, and then they'll buy. That's life in sales, right? You got to prove what to do. So like the webinar that we created for the 8-Figure Thinker, for example, same thing, right? I'm showcasing who I am and what I do, giving them some golden nuggets. So then if the 8-Figure Thinker is right for them, they'll buy. That's it. Same with Nitro. What did I do with Nitro? Same thing. A little 25-minute showcase on a webinar. If it's right for you, it's right for you. If it's not, it's not. That's it. Pre-launching is good. So podcast hosting, I use a company called Libsyn. Libsyn, Joe Rogan uses, who's got the biggest podcast in the world. But there's another one that's just, I've heard about, which is, there's lots, but this one's supposedly good. It does free transcription. It'll host for you, things like that. But it's called Anchor, anchor.com. Okay. Not an anchor in NLP, not this, but an anchor.com. So that's it, Amy. If you got more questions, hit me up. But now I want to get to Anthony's question. I think you'll enjoy some of this, and it might be a second video that we actually even do, because what he was talking about is influence. And one of there's many layers of NLP and what I do and using the unconscious mind and trance and the nervous system, all this stuff, right? It's how we build performance, but it's also how we build business. But it's influence, right? And you might think of influence as a dirty word. It ain't. It's definitely not a dirty word. Influence, you're being influenced by everything. By everything you watch, by everything you see, by every time you click Facebook, Instagram, by everything that you see on TV. You walking down the street, you're seeing billboards, you see people trying to give you free cookies outside of a shop. Everything's about influence, right? So one of the things that we have to specialize in NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, or, right, linguistic programming, or just simply what I do, right? Which is awesome stuff for the brain. So language patterns, or hypnotic language patterns. The way NLP really got famous was a couple of different ways. Salespeople got hold of it and understood the power of this stuff. And it also got put into the pickup artistry, and also people like Tony Robbins were coming from a very different place with it and helping people perform. So I'm going to give you a couple of sentences that you might want to practice, that if you practice are going to really help you, just be able to sell more stuff, be able to get people involved in your programs, but also just communicate better. Okay. So I'm going to read these and maybe we go over them. Okay. But let's go through this. In fact, many times you have overachieved what was required from you. So we'd use this in a statement, for example, I just don't know if it's right. I don't know if I can do it. Let's look at that one. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can close that client. I don't know if I can go and recruit people. I don't know if I can get that next job. I don't know if I can. I don't know, right? So what we would use is this statement. Write it down, right? In fact, do you know what, John? In fact, many times I know you have overachieved what is required from you, right? And you're going to do that again, aren't you? Do you see what we've done? So we started with a fact, and that boosts their confidence, okay? So in fact, right? So instantly, in fact, right? Many times you've done this, John. In fact, many times you've overachieved, haven't you? And you're going to do the same thing again, right? Do you see how powerful that is? So in fact, many times you have overachieved. So that takes the brain back, right? It takes it right back to the start. It starts eliciting their memories. That's what we want. So when we say many times, we can go, in fact, many times, John. What we've done is slowed down and emphasized many times. We can change it slightly. We go many times, accent down. I know this is a little bit complicated, but this is influence, right? So many times Many times. Look, John, you've done this many times. That's a command. We can go up, which is a question. So many times. Have you done this many times, John? Or have we done this many times? See the difference? So one is an accent, which is a question. One goes down, which is a command. Okay? So, Anthony, hope you like that. 2. Here's another one. Again, could be the same thing. I don't know how to recruit. I don't know how to get the next person. I don't know how to close this deal. I just don't know if I can do this. John, listen. Think back now. Think back to those times that you've won in the past. You will find the best way to make it happen, won't you? Again, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. Okay? Think back now. Look, John, just think back now where you've won in the past. Look, listen. You're gonna find a way. You're gonna find a way to make this happen, won't you? See how powerful that is? Right. So we can go on and on and on for days. I'm going to give one tiny bit more. But does that make sense? So think back now, how you won in the past. You will find the best way to make it happen, won't you? Okay? So what we're doing at the end, this is the third one I'm going to give you. It's like, won't you? Isn't it? It's called the tag question. Okay? It's where we tag or tie down. We got taught this back in the day. Tie down a statement. So you could say, are you gonna go and kick that football? Or you go and kick that football, right? Right? So right is where we start to create the tie down, isn't it? That's what you think, isn't it? You should do that, shouldn't you? Right? So the other one is in the previous statement, you will find the best way to make it happen, won't you? Won't you? So you could go up again with an accent, with a command. So wouldn't you? Or wouldn't you? You'd be able to make it happen, wouldn't you? You'd be able to make it happen, wouldn't you? Do you see the difference? So that's my little influence thing, right? If Anthony was on here, I'd go into more depth, but you're not. So, Q&A. Did you enjoy it? Besides, you probably got to watch part 1 again because part 1 disappeared for some bizarre reason. But hey, welcome to Facebook and welcome to the internet, right? But hopefully you enjoyed that. I want to keep these going, which means I need questions off you. We can get into specifics on business. We can get into specific on problems. We can look at memories. We can look at how to create you into high performance. We can take you into trance. We can do whatever you want. I obviously can do a lot of different things and I can help you get whatever you want. Okay. So if you like this, and you want to find more about the Nitro, I'm going to put the Nitro. We've got 4 places left. That's it. And I'm full. So I'm going to put the Nitro link in the comments below. So if you're watching this, I'm going to post this onto the actual main Facebook group as well. Part 1, part 2. I'm going to put the Nitro group in there. Come with us. It's 6 weeks, man. We're going to make some, we're going to just kick ass this year. So come on a journey with us. Until the next time, much, much love. Click the link and my pleasure. Hopefully you like that, Tyler. Awesome, Tom. Beautiful, Sam, for coming. And Amy and Anthony. Hopefully you liked your spots. Much love, everyone. Share this, share the group, share the podcast, share everything. The more awesome people we get involved, then the better, right? Share the Nitro group because we've got 4 places left. If you've got a friend, chat to me. So crew, there we go. End of episode 221. So big thanks to Tom, Tyler, Amy, and Anthony for your awesome questions. If you have questions for me for the next, the next Q&A with Andy, then guess what? Make sure you head into the incubator group. make sure you're asking me those questions, and I'm going to give you a personal shout out for it, that's pretty cool in itself, right? Or you can message me directly at andy@mindsetbydesign.co. And yeah, that's in the show notes too. And speaking of show notes, head over there right now. Let's get your brain on firing on all cylinders, no matter what level of the world or performance or business or life you're at. So let's go kick ass. Until then, you have an amazing week. And oh yeah, one more thing. Why don't you smile for me?
Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy. We'll catch you next time.